So camp kind of went well for me. I was making some plays here and there, not doing stuff great at corner, but still, as I said, causing a fumble, getting a few interceptions, and just really going well. And then I was one of the fun little stories from that camp is probably the fourth or fifth practice in. There was an interception on the far side of the field, and we always kind of run behind it and follow it up. But I was running probably about 3/4 speed, and I was probably 40 yards away from the ball, and all of a sudden I get ear hold. And I get up, and I'm fired up, but I was saying in the back of my head, I was like, don't give these coaches any reason to take you off these depth charts. You got to hold back, but let's make a mental note of it. And I turn, I look, and again, it's that little freshman, Golden Tate. I'll never forget, I jogged by him, I go, hey, Golden, I'm going to get you. You're going to get back on this one here, bud. And so I made sure that over the course of the rest of camp, I caught him a couple times coming across the middle, whether it was on a play where we were playing zone at corner, if I got him a couple times on special teams. But I want to make him understand that you don't get away with things like that. And another kind of fun story about Golden that I'll never forget, well, another one that is actually kind of really funny is that literally a year later, I was fighting for Golden because he was on kick return, and there was a going against scout kickoff, and another loudmouth freshman, R.J. Bland, who many of you guys know is quite a character, and that kid's one of my best friends on the team, and I really respect him, and a great player. But coming in his freshman year, he was running down, and on special teams, you never take anyone to the ground, and if it happens, it happens, but you never want to, go out of your way to hit someone so hard that, they fall. You always want to keep them up, because guys have enough trouble staying healthy during camp that you don't want to add to it. But RJ was running down, and he hits Golden, and then he gets up and just starts screaming down the sideline about it, how he just hit him and blah, 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 and just really gloating. And myself and a couple other guys were just shaking our heads going, you know what, this kid doesn't understand. You don't do this here. This isn't what we're all about. And so scout kickoff return was next, and I was on kickoff. And on the very last one, I got RJ, and I got him on the ground. I was like, hey, we don't do that around here. And he got up, and he was just talking and everything. But, that times will be time. We've let that go since then. But I just never forget that, I went from one year I was about ready to fight Golden to the next year where I was getting his back. And that's just how things work around the team. But another funny story about Golden that I'll never forget is Golden's freshman year. He didn't run the crispest routes by any means, but he just made unbelievable catches. And any of you Notre Dame fans out there can attest to seeing many of those in the games. But the funny thing is, he makes those on a daily basis. And I'll never forget Coach Brown just saying during the year, hey, you guys can laugh all you want. Because we were laughing at one of the routes Golden ran, and he just made a ridiculous catch. He's like, you guys can laugh all you want, but to be honest with you, you guys might be watching a future Heisman Trophy winner. And if Golden had stayed around for another year, who knows what might have happened, because he won the Blitnikoff this year, and that's the closest you can get as a wide receiver. So it's just funny looking back and seeing that Coach Brown was able to pick this out of a kid who had converted from running back and was the first time he was really running routes as a wide receiver. He's going to do tremendous at the next level, so I can't wait to see that happen. But, so after all those things happened, camp continued to go pretty well for me. And then probably about midway through or 3/4 of the way through, I ended up tweaking my hamstring. And it was just a real uphill battle from there. I didn't really say too much to the trainers because I didn't want them pulling me out. So I just kept battling and battling. But I was noticing, I was losing a step at gunner, and that was getting me caught off the line, and guys were able to jam me a little bit better. So I ended up coming in one day towards the end of camp and just looked up at the depth charts and just said, what's going on here? There's no more Mike Anello at gunner. And so I look and I just shook my head and I said, there's two things I can do, because I just can keep battling or I can sit here and pout. And what I told myself is that, I'm going to keep battling through camp and let's see what happens. And I battled and I never made it back on at the end of camp. And one of the things is a walk-on. You kind of know if you can't get on there by the end of camp, it's a really big uphill battle to make it back on the depth charts during the season, because they just have so much more to worry about then. And so when that didn't happen again, I had that same choice. I could sit there and pout and say, I got the short end of the stick, when in all reality it was just my body. It just gave out on me, my hamstring. So that wasn't an option. So I told myself, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to continue to battle. In worst case scenario, I prepare myself for next year, and I get these guys better this year. And so I said, you know what, this is a great opportunity because I'm going to be going against the number one guys every day, and I want to make sure I'm number one on the depth chart, so I get to go against the guys who are playing on Saturdays. And so I ended up doing that in season, and you know, things, as you'll find out in the next episode, kind of worked out for the best. So hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and let's get on to the next one. Thanks.